Hello to my Sagittarius. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Let's get right into it. Hopefully everybody's having a good day on today. This reading is for the 22nd/23rd through the 30th of May. For those of you all who like to follow the retrogrades, Pluto is still retrograde until October. It will be retrograde until October. I want to say until about October 4th, October 14th. And so Pluto is that emotional roller coaster planet, right? So emotions, highs and lows, and all the everything in between, right? It is a judgment um, planet. It's a judgment card in tarot. And so as people are going through very powerful um, transformations and going through metamorphosis, people will try to judge you as you're going through moves and changing jobs, retirement, new babies are born into the family. You accepting new people into your lives, so on and so forth. Like I mentioned, the LGBTQIA plus community in my readings, but that A would be for asexual. That's a person who is not attracted to anything or anybody, right? Um, but some people still think that that's adultery or adulteress or an adulterer or an adulteress, and people are still judging people based on whatever, right? What they do in their personal lives. But whatever it is that causes people to break chains or break communication, not talking to people, breaking up with their families, or whatever it is, breaking cycles with their families, whether people move away, whatever it is. Source is saying it's an emotional roller coaster for everybody. So let's get into your reading. Let's get into your reading. You're learning how to see something from a from a higher frequency. The Temperance card in this year of 9. It's time to flourish. It is time to flourish. So you all are the I philosophize sign. You're the I philosophize sign, and you're learning how to listen to parts of your body when you all are when things are happening for you. You're learning how to listen to your body. You're learning how to listen to your body because that's important. Very, very important. Yeah, very, very important. Let's see what the angel number is we have here for you. Angel number. It's time for you to flourish. So visualize harmony. That's right. Visualize harmony as you're closing out cycles with energies who feel like it's their way or the highway. As you are closing out cycles, right? So visualize harmony. When you're talking about people that you love, you can forgive people, but still move on. Okay. Visualize harmony. Release worry and welcome peace. Be comforted. The fears that you have are not supposed to be yours alone to hold. Visualize your angels taking them from you, leaving you with only a harmonious peace. Sit in meditation right now and picture a bright light washing over you, evaporating all your fears. Then take a few deep breaths and picture what harmony looks like. This color pink right here is love, right? Yeah. If somebody has a very rich prayer life. And so when you close out cycles, when source makes it make sense, and source tells you to close out cycles with two types of energies who said they love people, but it's their way or the highway. Remember that A is what really throws people off in that rainbow, right? When you talk about the temperance card, what's in that temperance card is that particular community, right? And that A, in that for some people, it's like, okay, well, what about the adulterers and the adulteress? Like the people who are actually out here committing that particular sin. Does that not like, but then you forget that's also asexual, people who are not interested in anybody, right? But also with that karmic cycle, that number 8, when you turn it to the side, looks like an infinity symbol. People can be chained to a particular belief system, and they can chain other people to that particular. They can bring other people into their karmic cycle, right? So all people need to hear are those letters, and they all of a sudden just go wild, right? Um, and so Source is trying to help somebody to learn how to see something from a higher frequency. And because it could be somebody's grandkids that says, hey, they're not interested in anybody. And somebody be like, imagine you have somebody in your family says every year they don't want to get married. They want to be single. They don't want to have kids. Why does the pressure as they walk in the door, just because everybody else is married and have kids, they got to be married and have kids? What's up with what's the pressure? Or what's wrong with you? I thought I was going to have some grandkids or kids. So somebody is learning how to release burdens around love. Somebody's a changeling. That's a child of fairies, of demons who have been substituted for a human baby. Somebody is really learning how to just release burdens around, energies who feel like, their idea of love is, their idea, and that's it. So be patient. The answers you seek are coming. Yeah, somebody just kind of was looking at you like you're supposed to just wither away. So your next love interest will make you happier. Yeah, that's what you're making room for. So you are protected and loved. Yeah, you're praying and meditating. So listen to your inner voice. Somebody was almost looking at somebody. I don't know what people's ages are. It doesn't even really matter. That would be ageism if you're older. People are looking at people. Even that right there will cause people to kind of break a chain or break a cycle. It's like somebody's looking at you as like if you're too old. If that's the case, like okay, this person is too old. It's ready to start planning somebody's transition to the next life. Like what? That again is playing God to somebody. Like you're closing out a cycle with two energies. If somebody was premature with something. So even if you moved away at a certain age and start the next phase of your life, people already planning something. So be patient. The answers are coming. Like I said, it's time to release the burden. Somebody does have love interest that's going to make you happier. It's time to do a sacral chakra cleanse, get near water. So yeah, make room for a new blessing in your life. You are a star. Like you found your star, the curse is now broken. Yeah, so don't return their call. So yeah, get focused. Somebody is just now waking up from some kind of trance they were in, whatever kind of trance they were in, being connected to energies because something didn't work out the way people thought they was going to work out. Somebody thought you were going to be somewhere, withering away. Whatever your age is, it doesn't really matter. Whatever your preference is, whatever it is. You could have been a person who maybe you were celibate for a while. Maybe people thought, okay, this person, they're going, whatever people thought. Who knows what the people thought. Archangel Michael, the dispenser of justice. Yeah, so some kind of injustice may have been done behind your back. Somebody's an incubus. That's a, 3-letter word, S, demon. And I have a whole, on my other channel, that's on the next channel. Yeah, the spy is now turned on. Yeah. Some people just maybe needed to just kind of sort of process, your ex was on some kind of an assignment. So don't cast your pearls before swine. You don't know who's connected to whom. You don't know who's chained in with somebody else. Still talking about the number 8. Document your dreams day and night. Somebody secretly has a crush on you. You're not interested in a secret. That's the problem. Too many secrets floating around. So they live in whoever this is, live in some kind of secret. So yes, two energies. There's something behind your back. There's a justice card with some kind of an organization. Yeah, still saying that they love you, doing something behind your back. And somebody felt like something was their way or the highway because they thought you were going to wither away somewhere. Yeah, you're cutting these energies off and letting the tower fall on them. I can already see it in your cards already. The curse is now broken. You breaking some kind of a generational cycle chain and curse. So I already see it in your cards. Yeah, yeah. You inherited something. You inherited something. What you inherited partially in the spiritual realm is that you don't look like what you've been through. That's one. Okay, that's a gift, right? So the baton has been passed to you in terms of in the spiritual realm, you don't look like what you've been through. So some energies definitely felt like maybe you were going to inherit some property or something. These energies jump, they put the cart before the horse. I mean, I know that's a saying, but did you inherit a horse? You may maybe you inherited a horse. I mean, that would be, if you go horseback riding. But anyway, my point to you is that some energies put the cart before the horse. Something inside them was welling up. That number 6 looks like a rounded back and a bulging belly. So some people felt like, okay, this person isn't going to inherit something. They wanted to hurry up and jump on a bandwagon. Okay, well, let's hurry up and go do something behind their backs. You know, let's pray on them instead of praying and meditating on something. What they do, karmic cycle. We decide to be a burden in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? So to do you some kind of an injustice. So it's time for you to get focused. It's time for you to really get focused. You'll be cutting these energies off. Yep. Yeah, we'll be cutting them off. You won't even be at an impasse for this, for real. You inherited the spiritual gifts. These energies, whoever these energies are, they think in the physical world only. So they may have thought that you were going to physically inherit something, but you actually inherited spiritual gifts, and you have a lot of spiritual gifts that you inherited. And so these energies, one of the energies was blindsided by some things that they heard about you, about your mental health or your um, um, maybe intimacy. Like I said, I gotta be careful with some of the words. It'll trigger certain commercials on the channel. But source is saying to you, yeah, they were approached by 2 dark magicians and bought something hook, line, and sinker, got hooked into something. Yep. Here's a temperance card. Approached by 2 dark magician energies. Instead of them being at an impasse and picking up a phone and calling you, this is what you and somebody have in common. Instead of them being at an impasse and picking up a phone and calling you, they just went with the flow. And then they just, like I said, got chained into a cycle and did something behind your back. So yeah, it's time for you to flourish. It's time for you to flourish. Yeah. So something is something is taking off fast for you. Your prayers are being answered fast. Here's the Page of Cups here. Something took off fast for them, like in terms of what happened with them behind closed doors. Something took off fast for them, like something was brought to light as far as they are concerned. How they can succumb to passive and powerless behavior and become egotistical, materialistic, and forceful. That came out immediately. Something came out quick, fast, in a hurry. In other words, they don't really care at this point. They're amongst that group of energies on the dark side of the number 8. And something came out for you really fast, like your gifts, your spiritual gifts came out. The inherited gifts came out really, really fast, to a point almost where people are like, wow, how in the world did they pick up so fast? Because excuse me, you would have already had to be on that. I mean, like generationally, you would have already had to be on that path. That was an inherited gift, and something had to bring it to light. Something had to bring it to light for you to be on that gift. I mean, for you to be on that path. And so somebody had a prayer life since they were a kid. You had a prayer life since you were a kid. And so all it had to take, you were a prayer warrior, but somebody's now just learning at a higher frequency what a prayer warrior is, right? So you had to go through a lot of fire to realize your prayers got you through a lot of things, that a lot of people. So you don't look at it as luck. You really, really are grateful to Source, really grateful to the Creator, right? Right. So you don't take it for granted. So yeah, so you're not left out of anything. Somebody definitely very, very soon will want to come to you and go, feeling worthless because, again, they bought into some kind of a lie about you, and something came out real quick, but they're outside of your vault door. You'll be looking at them out the side of the peephole. Yep, because they dealt with a blood relative, 2 blood relatives who didn't care anything, who played them like they were a chess game. Used them as a pawn in a game. Use them as a pawn in the game to try to make you and them feel worthless. And that's what you and somebody have in common. So you're learning how to see something from a higher frequency, and how somebody, when they hear inheritance, all they hear is like the physical realm. Oh, I'm going to inherit a house. I'm going to inherit a car. I'm going to inherit some money. But they don't inherit spiritual gifts that can really literally save your life. The gift of like feeling like danger is near, or the inheritance of, feeling like, okay, I had a dream about fish. Okay, somebody must be pregnant, or I feel like my abundance and prosperity is growing, or I feel like I should accept this particular job offer. I applied for or interviewed with 3 or 4 companies, and this has been difficult for me to select a particular job. About all 3 of them are offering a position. Good problem to have, but which one should I select? Maybe I should pray about it first, meditate on it. Okay, source, I need such a clear sign of which job I should take. Those are inherited gifts as well. And so they the good news, like I said, you getting a message of some good news, that one, your prayers for them to, that they actually are inherit, whoever this energy is also inherited the gift as well. And it's going to happen quickly for them because they're having a tower moment. They're realizing that you've been praying for them, right? And energies did not get away with what they thought they got away with. These energies, these snake energies, but the devil is in the details. It's right here. So you're keeping your vibrations very high. So you got money and love coming across your path, and they're coming across quickly, but you're keeping your vibrations high. And so you don't need to be at an impasse right here. You don't need to be at an impasse. You don't have a blindfold. These birds right here, your ancestors. They're the ones that's in your ear all the time. They're the ones that's talking to you. Your ancestors. Yeah. Helping you to leave behind a lot of distractions. They're the ones that's saying, no, leave behind the distractions. Yeah. Leave behind the distraction. You found your north node. You found your north node. You're a star that shines bright in dark spaces. When people look at you, they looking at you like making an assessment about you. They don't even know you. They're seeing you as prey, right? But they don't know that you're a prayer warrior who's gone through things already. They're seeing you as like, okay, this person's by themselves. They like looking at you coming out of the house like by yourself. Like somebody who could be blindsided, easily blindsided, right? But you are protected in love. And so, yeah, somebody who is light high priestess energy. That's what you have in common with somebody who is a light high priestess energy. So these energies who created this whole narrative looks like around you, who we're talking about the Tower card, who were obsessed with judging you and trying to play you as like a pawn, did not realize that you don't look like what you've been through. You and somebody don't look like what you've been through. Somebody had a prayer life since they were a kid. And that's the good news. There's a page of wands here. So looking at your cards here, you've been praying that somebody is free from being around shady people. So that is a prayer. That's an answer prayer. And that's something like that happened quickly, that they were freed from being around shady people so that they can stay focused, so they can get near water. And so your prayers are being answered. Your prayers are being answered. Your prayers are being answered, right? Yeah, because something horrible would have happened. Horrible would have happened. Some energies told some kind of lie, but the lie is now over. Yeah, something is over 7 of Cups. And they thought they had gotten away with some kind of lie they said about somebody that would have, like I said, you were having nightmares about something, about 2 people, some kind of lie about 2 people. Let's see what else we got going on here. Some kind of lie was created about 2 people, but the tower is coming down now. Because that lie was so egregious that was told behind people's back. It's causing you nightmares now. Like this is crazy. But something in you now, instead of you just absorbing something for so long, is really prompting you to open up your mouth and start talking. But something caused you to have like some horrible nightmares, like about something. But really, this was created, something around music. Something was created to make two people feel worthless. And they were created by really, really cold-hearted energies that was trying to loop them into something. Actually, this was created by, let me see. This is created by blood relatives, somebody's family, somebody's blood relatives, or at least blood relatives were involved, because I'm looking at this red colored checkered floor, the duality. So the duality of these blood relatives is like they kind of come across as like these self-starters, like very like the duality of a person. But the dark side of this blood relative is that they're unpredictable, very stubborn, destructive, and very immature. And another one is very jealous, malicious, argumentative, and very domineering. Um, one is rebellious, impulsive, and very cold. They try to make it seem like somebody was that, and so you're seeing something from a higher frequency now, and it's just like there's duality to everybody, but you're also looking at yourself like, okay, what would have made you break a chain with someone? And looking at these cards here, you got two women sitting on this rainbow here. So something around music, something around the LGBTQIA plus community. But at the same time, it's like somebody must have recorded something or videoed something or whatever the case may be. Something was causing somebody to have a nightmare about something, but the intention was to cause two people to feel worthless. But somebody didn't even open up their mouth to even ask a question about why, what, when, anything. But like I said, something was so egregious, it just didn't make any sense. This injustice that was done behind some people's back. Somebody just didn't ask any questions. They just blindsided somebody and created a slew of nightmares for people. Yeah, the star. Yeah, two people were operating in their purpose. And star does not necessarily mean celebrity. All it took is for people to assume people were going towards celebrity status. So I don't know if people have kids who like maybe music, because I'm saying this music note here is maybe in the entertainment industry. So something is really a lesson for somebody looking at the cards here. If people assume, even catch wind that somebody's loved ones is going into entertainment, whether it's sports entertainment, whether it's some kind of art in some way, shape, form, or fashion, how people will create, even in the family. You're seeing duality here. Like people will use people as pawns, and it'd be the people you least expect to create something. This right here, create a tower moment for people. And they'll keep creating and creating and creating to say, and this is the obsession with people. If people think that they can get behind people's closed doors, they'll use anything, people's kids, to make them feel worthless, anything to get behind any kind of key to get behind somebody's closed doors. And that's what Source is trying to help somebody to learn how to see, is like, if you realize you being used as a key and people keep poking and prying at you and saying, okay, they heard this. Okay, that wasn't harsh enough. Then you heard that about somebody. That wasn't harsh enough. And somebody keeps telling you something. You keep going and going and going. And it's like, okay, why does somebody seem like they so obsessed with just telling you the worst and worst and worst thing about people? At some point, somebody, okay, stop going along with the flow and say, okay, somebody don't want somebody to flourish. Somebody wants somebody to really wither away and die. That's what this is. So Source is saying now the curse is broken. That's what you and somebody have in common. Just nightmare after nightmare after nightmare that's been created around you, around family, who, like I said before, when you know your worth and your value, they go after the ones who don't. Even if it's your kids or grandkids, with the shade, being shady. So 7 of Wands. Somebody is now being able to defend their decision to move on from something without coming across as defensive, because the people wanted a complete and painful ending, somebody to hit rock bottom, failure, collapse, and a complete and total defeat, and that didn't happen. It didn't happen. If anything, somebody is thriving behind closed doors. After these so-called loved ones creating a complete nightmare for people's kids, being shady. So, yeah. Yep. So it's time to flourish. It is time to flourish so the tower can really come down. The tower can come down, right? Queen of Pentacles here. So yeah, this is a person who is quite resourceful. Somebody had to come out and be quite resourceful to do a deep dive into all of this so that people can learn a truth about things, because people weren't opening up. They weren't asking questions themselves. Yeah. Here's the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. People weren't asking questions themselves. Everybody just focus on the bag, focus on the money, focus on the money. So a phone call will not be returned at this point. Phone call with these two will not be returned. If something took off real fast. These two did not get away with what they think they got away with. They told a big, big lie about something. And nobody even thought to even ask. Everybody going on, their degrees and their feelings about something. Oh, I got a feeling about this. Everybody wanted to play psychic while people are still alive, and people can come right out and just ask questions directly of people. People got people's telephone numbers. I mean, like, just this is what I'm looking at here in the cards. When I see this call right here, this right here, don't return their call. When I see this card right here, see all of these cards right here, when they come out, it's not by coincidence. When I see this call, this right here lets me know that somebody got somebody's number right here. The call, when it says don't return their call, that means that somebody got somebody's telephone number. That means that somebody could have called somebody. That means that somebody could have picked up a phone and called somebody to say, hold on, I'm hearing something. Something was created, because it's water is. Water is creative energy. I'm hearing some stuff. Why? Because people want to be a part of getting behind a vault door and using somebody's child as the key to find out what was going on. But Source is trying to help somebody to see, here's the Ace of Swords, why people are being cut off. Why people are being cut off for good. That's what Source wants people to learn how to see. There ain't no niceties at this point. Why people are being cut off for good. Yeah, Seven of Cups. Yeah, because as far as two situations are concerned, when, like I said, keeping the vibrations high, the waters are muddy. That's what it is. The waters are muddy. The coming back to people saying, oh, well, I heard and I thought and somebody should have told me and I wasn't sure. I had so much going on at the time. Something was so egregious. That's what this is right here, the Ten of Cups. So something has ended now. Something is coming to an end. And so here we have the Seven of Cups at the end right here. Choice is daydreaming, searching for purpose. Somebody, well, I was wondering what was the purpose of all of this. Like I wasn't sure what was going on. If something is over now, something is over, something is closed out. The dark side of seven is people asking why. Now the tower is falling. People are asking why, but the answer is it's already closed out. That lets you know that people can create anything. They can create any kind of photo image, whether it's actually people or not. They can create any AI with AI voice, whatever. So they can create anything and people will believe it. They can literally create anything and people will believe it. Yeah, will believe it and cause a person's death. Will obsessively cause two people's ending. These two cards right here equals this card right here. This right here, this is Aries, this is Scorpio, and this is a Tower card. Tower card rules both of these right here. These two right here will cause somebody's death. This right here. All because somebody created. Water is creativity. The living water is what everybody needs to be going to from the inside. The living water. God, is the living water, is what people need to go into. People are prayer warriors. All of this chaos and confusion. Source is saying it is time to flourish in people's gifts in their north node. It is time for people to get to the north node and stop being chained to people who do stuff behind people's backs, family or not. All this family over everything, and people are blindsiding people and not letting people know that they're in a karmic cycle. What I'm seeing here in the cards is that somebody got some family members that's still holding on to some stuff, some resentment that they're not talking about, and they're chaining some people into some stuff. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles here, just to grow their money, just to grow their money. They still mad at something around money or some kind of self-worth. Somebody still feels some kind of way, like they blaming somebody for stunting somebody's money. I mean, and who knows how long they've been holding on to it. So that means if you moved on, they still holding on to some kind of resentment around money. Like, and money is a form of energy. Again, still don't see something until it happens. Here we had to make a meal. Somebody felt like somebody made somebody feel worthless. So somebody could have felt like you chose somebody else over them to put them out, and they've been holding on to something for a long time. And for them, they vowing to get somebody back to the end of time. They're going to get them back. And this is generational. They are obsessed with getting somebody back, whether it's them, their kids, grandkids. They don't care. And they'll drag you down to the end of time. They don't care. So Source is saying it's time for you to flourish. So here we have health, 347. Take care of your health. There is an urging from your angels to take seriously a health matter that you have let fall by the wayside. How you treat your body is important. It shows self-love and care. Reflect on what you've been avoiding. Make a doctor's appointment or address the concern you've been putting off. 347. So, yep, 347. The color green connects us with love. So 347 connects us with love. And and so it's also an area code in New York. So New York could be the significance to somebody. So somebody's trying to visualize harmony, trying to visualize harmony, trying to rise above some things. But I'm telling y'all, some family members, for them, are causing all kinds of endings to harmonious relationships because they don't want to see people flourish. Whether it's blood relatives or not, they don't want to see people flourish. So Source is saying it's time to make some healthy meals and focus on your health. But somebody is an incubus spirit, and they somebody just don't want it telling you who they're chained to, a particular belief system that they have about something. Something is somebody's way or the highway. It's two energies. It's their way or the highway. And if you don't believe what they believe, and they're part of a hidden community that you don't agree with, but these two are a part of a community that you openly don't agree with, but they are part of the community. They're part of the same community, but they're hiding that they're part of a community that you don't agree with. So, and that's what you have in common with somebody. And all of that anger and frustration, and these keep on playing people like a pawn in the game. Just see this knife in this right here? This knife that people are making healthy meals from, that's what Source is saying. Continue on a very healthy diet, eating your fruits and veggies, because you don't want anything like clogging up your system so that your things are not flowing harmoniously through your system. Like your heart chakra is not blocked, where you're not making a connection. All of that stuff, your physical body, the spiritual body, all of those are connected where you're not making a connection in the heart chakra. to that's the physical realm and the spiritual realm. That's where the gateway is, your heart chakra. Somebody is still not making a connection between, okay, why are these energies so obsessed with hating a particular, like phasing out, causing the death of two energies? It has to be because it's something about them that they don't want to come to light. Like, what? That's the only reason people hate people, for real, because there's something in them that they hate about themselves. That's the only reason. That's the only reason for hate. Because why else? Yeah. It's okay that things don't always feel easy and effortless. Some of the best moments in life happen during the or and after hard times. Keep believing. Yeah. Because for real, I mean, think about it. Why was somebody dating somebody else bother me if I don't date you? You ain't my type. Why would I care? For real, I wouldn't care. I'm not your God. I'm not your creator. Why would I care who you dating? It's not my problem. I wish you the best. Whoever you are, I wish you the best. Everything is here. So embrace the spiritual belief that everything already exists in the here and now. Live in the present moment and be grateful for what you have. Somebody's dealing with energies right in their face that don't want harmony because there's something in them. They hate something about themselves. That something happened really fast within them. It brought out something in them. Something brought out something in them. So that somebody was taught to hate. That further makes them feel worthless. Further makes them feel like they're on the outside of something. So Source is saying to you, it's time to go into prayer mode, for real. It's time to go into prayer and meditation mode. But it's also time to use that sword and cut some energies off. That's the number 5. It's like, don't be stuck in a I'm not sure, I'm uncertain, I'm still confused. Prayer mode. Because these energies, like I said, shady. Shady. Straight up shady. That is what I have for somebody. And their demons have taken over. Yep. When a demon is taking over, that's the people's excuses. I didn't know what I was doing when I was under the influence. I had no idea. Like a person who, what's the saying about people who drink? A drunk mind speaks to sober. What is it? A drunk mind. What does it say? Drunk mouth speaks to sober mind. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But it's the same thing with an incubus. It's like, okay, I didn't know what I was doing when I was under some kind of influence, so that whatever was there is what I had at that moment, like in terms of, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing, right? So these energies right here, it's like anyway, you get the point. That's what I have for you. Bye.